Welcome to the SFS Podcast, where we will explore the keys to success and lifelong growth. I'm your host, Gibby, and welcome to the show. On today's episode, we have special guest, Mr. Clutz, helping us to define success from a biblical perspective and how it impacts us in our lives. My name is Gibby, 8th grader, and this is my 8th grade Bible teacher, Mr. Clutz.
Hello, world. Are we live?
How do you view success from a biblical and a cultural standpoint, and how do you compare and contrast them?
Well, success oftentimes is equated with the accumulation of possessions. So, like, when you're in 4th grade, it's like, check out my sweet Pokemon card collection.
Yeah.
And then when you're 15 years old, you're hoping that after you get your license, you get a really amazing car that you can drive around town. Or then you are in the NBA and then you play the whole season, but then you lose the championship. You feel like your season was a failure because you didn't obtain a ring. But really, like, is the ring the thing that defines life's success? No. Actually, it shouldn't be. But if you think about it, like, most people culturally, they think they're successful if they accumulate something. A house, a successful job, the perfect college. But what's really interesting to me is that success, biblically speaking, is kind of the opposite of that. It's actually being content and realizing that you already have enough. So, like, you're already loved by God in a very deep, intimate way. You already have your daily needs provided for you. That you already have a Holy Spirit that will give you peace in a chaotic world. Oftentimes what we're doing is we are looking for something to make us successful, but we actually already are successful if we're just content with what we already have. And so that's probably the best way to answer that, because if you finally, like, for example, if you, like, beat Mario, then you realize that, like, for example, Super Mario World, you beat the game, and then they're like, oh, wait, you didn't beat the star levels. You're like, what's the star level? And then you realize there's more to be done. So in the world, to think success is that, it's exhausting and it never ends. But real success biblically is being content that you already loved, that you are already loved, that you already forgiven, that you are seen as the way that God designed you to be, and your identity is in Him. So that's pretty cool.
And how do you view failure from a cultural or biblical standpoint?
Failure from a biblical standpoint is acknowledging that you will fail because you have a sin nature. And so we will fall short until we are made completely perfect eternally with Jesus in heaven. So I think the way I would explain this is like, when I fail and fall, it's not a surprise, but I also have hope because I can learn how to grow from that to be more like Jesus, because He gives me the gift of the Holy Spirit. But also, like, because God is a God that forgives, I can also let things go myself. Because oftentimes when I mess up, I beat myself up. And a lot of times the world, when they view failure, someone, if they fail, a lot of times it's like they are canceled and moved to the side for the next great thing. But most Bible characters have seasons of failure, but God still uses them in really cool ways, whether that's through their failures or when they grow out of, like, from their failures. And so failure is a reality. It's a real thing because we're not perfect people, but there's also a lot of beauty to see how God can use our brokenness and make it into something pretty amazing. So.
Yep. And for a curveball question, what is your favorite sports team and what's your favorite color?
My favorite sports team? Shout out to the Columbus Land Sharks. Big time lacrosse. No, my favorite sports team, if you spend any time with me, would be the Philadelphia 76ers. And you want to talk about failure. I've learned a lot from that team because they always let you down every single year.
Yeah. I'm a Falcons fan, so.
Falcons?
Yeah.
Yeah. So the Sixers are my favorite sports team. And my favorite color, it's a trifold. I like blue, I like brown, and I like yellow. Little sunshine on your podcast today.
Yeah, that was underrated.
Got any more questions for me, Gibster?
I don't. That's it. Thanks for watching.
Hey, click subscribe. Let's get these views up.
Let's go!
Oh my God!